Hey there, it's Corey, the Yard Buddha, and today I'd like to show you how I'm going to pot my bamboo in these container pots. If you haven't seen my first video on these pots, I did show how to build them, and then I made another second video on how I sanded and stained them. So if you're interested in how to make these, check those out. And obviously with a Yard Buddha video, there's going to be a lot of unnecessary wind here today, and my neighbor just decided to fire up his power equipment in his yard. How dare him. So it's just par for the course here, but this is kind of how they're going to sit. I'm going to have to level them out with a little more sand and stuff, but you can see the feet are going to be off the ground at least 2 inches. And I'm using a running bamboo, so I should be able to tell if anything's traveling down through there. The only thing I did different with this pot than from my videos is I did put like a little scrap piece of the rhizome barrier down here in the bottom with a couple screws, just to support the soil that's going to go in there a little bit more and maybe prevent the rhizomes from going down a little bit. But there's still going to be plenty of drainage on the sides there, so I'm not worried about trapping everything in. But we'll show you what the bamboo looks like. So this is the bamboo that I have chosen, and I went down to my local garden center, which usually they'll sell the types that can survive in your area, and that's kind of why I chose these. Is they're going to be good container bamboo, and then they also are very cold hardy and a little bit shade tolerant. So I plan on just leaving them in the boxes over the winter, maybe piling some pine needles or something around them, but these should go down to -10. This one here is called a yellow groove bamboo, and it kind of has big stalks and gets fairly high, but if you keep it in a container, it probably shouldn't get too much higher than that. And then this one is called a bisset bamboo, and it's a little more dense and smaller stalks there, and so both of these provide really good privacy screens for my yard. And that's kind of the main point why I chose them. This one's called a yellow groove. I don't know if you can see, but usually every other cane here, there's a node, there's a yellow groove on it. So these ones in the ground will get almost like 1 inch thick if you do it that way. But right now, that's the way I'm going to work, and my dogs here are supervising. Sorry about my shadow. There's one, there's two. They're waiting for me to leave my straw bale alone so that they can try to get into the chicken manure that's in it. So I surround it by some pots, and I'll show you how I make the soil that goes in there now. Alright, I'm going to show you my scientific and highly accurate method of making soil for these pots. Just kidding. And of course I perfectly timed a airplane flying over for this too. But this is pretty much just stuff that I have lying in my yard. So 3/4 of a wheelbarrow of new fir bark, 3/4 of a wheelbarrow of old fir bark, one-half wheelbarrow of compost, scientific. And lastly, some organic fertilizer. This is the chicken manure fertilizer I use in pretty much everything in my yard. It is 1425. 2 cups. Maybe 2.5. And now you mix. All right, this is the end of my bamboo project, and this is what it turned out to look like. I got most of the pots leveled off with just a little bit of compact sand underneath, but these things are light enough that if they move around a little bit, you can just lift up a corner and pile more stuff underneath. I did use most of the soil. I made a little bit extra, but I can use that in another project here. But this is the bisset bamboo. It's going to be a little more green and compact. And here is my yellow groove bamboo, which I think is going to be a beast. I may have to move my wind spinner there out away, but I think these were 15-gallon pots of bamboo that I bought, and they fit just perfectly in this 18-inch tall planter. So that's about as big as you can probably go. As you can see, I left some liner around the top, probably about 1 inch or 2. So no rhizomes get up over there. But I had just fertilized this, so I probably won't fertilize again for about a month, but springtime is the time to do it. That's when the rhizomes are really getting going. So I hope you guys enjoyed this project, and thanks for watching. I had a whole lot of fun, and we'll see you later.